Dee, she allegedly took the dress from the shoot without asking. Surely that can't be right.
Really difficult when looking at these pictures to really even reconcile what's happening, like a real ball gown. So it doesn't really fit with the setting either. They're outside, walking in the grass. It looks out of place to the backdrop. That
royals who go out, they have a lot of discussion. They have weeks of studying it and what's appropriate and what isn't. But one of the things I think is that her behaviour, looking like that, so inappropriate, will sort of slide down to affect the royal family because they had so much that was royal. You know, they're going from one thing to another.
But I think she actually deserves credit for re-wearing something and, you know, burning it after wearing it once.
Since both the bra and the outfit are too tight, you can see everything. It's not just distracting, it just doesn't look good. It looks awful, unprofessional. She's really quite lean in this area, especially during this time. She was real skinny, and so some people would have had a serious difficulty getting a smooth look right there with a strapless like myself, or really busty people like myself, but she's skinny enough to pull it off if she had just tried wear bodycon stuff that's really tight, because it kind of makes it just look like you have a bit of a pooch. Like
Brits. I started to understand very quickly that the formality on the outside carried through on the inside.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but do you think they're astute all the time?
Yeah.
She gotta have a pair of ripped jeans somewhere.
She walked into Paris Fashion Week uninvited, wearing a brand that had just apologized for using children in bondage-themed ads. Bumped heads with the designer on camera, got blanked by a British actress mid-conversation, then filmed herself driving past the tunnel where Diana died and posted it on Instagram like it was a lovely Tuesday, all in the same week. And that's not even in our top 3. Today, 10 reasons the fashion world is done with Meghan Markle. And at the end, we're going outfit by outfit through the 10 worst things she has ever worn. One of you said it perfectly in the comments. She has the uncanny ability to make expensive designer clothing look cheap and tacky. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how she does it and what the rest of us can learn from every single disaster. Stay with me. Number 1 has to be seen to be believed. Number 10, she kept the dress. Here's how fashion loans work. Royals can't accept gifts, conflict of interest. What they can do is borrow. Piece comes to you, you wear it. Designer gets the exposure. You send it back promptly, in perfect condition. That's the deal. Meghan doesn't do that. Insiders went on record saying showrooms now build in what they call Meghan buffer time. Extra days padded onto every loan period, just for her. They plan for it. That's how consistent the problem is.
I had 2 sources tell me that she took the dress, but one source was saying that she did not ask, which is very...
Then came the $1,700 Galvan gown, loaned for a variety shoot in 2022. Months later, it reappeared in her Netflix trailer. Page 6 said she walked off with it.
2022, she was given this to put on for this photo shoot, and basically the story is New York Post on its famous gossip page 6 reporting yesterday, I believe it was, that she walked off with it. She just walked off with it. And she's been confronted with this, basically saying, as we say in Britain, did you nick that dress? Did you steal it? Did you steal it?
Her team called it categorically false. The fashion industry called it something else. One of you said it best. Not returning loaned clothes is called stealing. Designers talk to each other. The word on Meghan has been circulating for years. Don't lend her anything you want back. Once that's your reputation, the invitations stop.
Clothing worn by members of the royal family and other public figures has been targeted for resale in the past, making the practice both common and precautionary. So basically, Meghan saying, I hate my diehard fans that would want to buy something I wore. I mean, she's blaming the fans that would want to buy something she wore.
Number 9, the wrinkle problem. In high fashion, showing up wrinkled is the equivalent of showing up drunk. It tells the designer their work means nothing to you. We're not talking about a slight crease. We're talking about coats that look like they've been scrunched at the bottom of a bag for 3 hours, which, given her fabric choices and her schedule, is probably exactly what happened. She consistently gravitates to silks, thin cottons, unstructured weaves, beautiful fabrics. Completely wrong for sitting in a car for 40 minutes on the way to a public engagement. Catherine, Princess of Wales, knits, heavy structured wool, photographed thousands of times, never wrinkled, not once. That's not luck, that's a system. Even Meghan's wedding dress, the most photographed dress of her life, was visibly wrinkled on the day.
This rather bulky column dress, this looks a little intense. I feel like this doesn't fit her very well. And she's doing that. Here's that aggressive slicked back hairstyle. And you can see her how it makes her face, it's just less flattering to her face to have that aggressive of a slicked back hairstyle. It's also not always the best option if you have a particularly long face or a particularly wide, round face.
A former Mulberry creative director pointed it out publicly. Her wedding dress. $500,000 spent on clothes in 2018 alone. A steamer costs 40 pounds. This is a choice.
Meghan Markle is redefining royal fashion and at a hefty price. $1 million is the day she gave Prince Harry's fiancé.
Number 8, she cannot read a room. SmartWorks, a charity that helps unemployed women dress for job interviews. Women who have very little, learning to walk into a room with confidence. Meghan arrived in a 2,600-pound Oscar de la Renta coat, 3 sizes too big, wrinkled, cow print shoes. To a charity about dressing women who can't afford clothes. The coat had no buttons, no belt, just hanging open, sleeves swamping her hands. When she took it off inside, she was in a t-shirt dress. In January, every other person in the room had long sleeves. But that's not even the worst of it. She hosted an event for bereaved parents, people who had lost their children to online harm. She was the host, she set the tone for the room. She wore an off-the-shoulder dress. One of you wrote, the off-the-shoulder cocktail pantsuit to meet the parents of children who have died because of online hate. Unbelievably tasteless. When you dress like that in a room full of grieving families, everyone clocks it within 30 seconds. And every second after that, they're thinking about your dress instead of why they came. You've made yourself the story. That's the exact opposite of what a host does.
But yeah, the satin lining of the coat is just catch in the flash and just real intense. It's a bit much. Also, this outfit would have looked better with stockings or nylons on. It just would have looked more professional. In these types of PR-facing jobs, you do want to look professional. You want to look like you have your stuff together. You just, I don't know, these types of choices don't say that to me.
Number 7, the Balenciaga disaster. October 2025, Paris Fashion Week. Front row, cameras on her. She wasn't invited. Creative director Pierpaolo Piccioli confirmed it to the cut she'd texted him. Asked if she could come, he said yes. The New York Post headline, Meghan Markle invited herself to Paris Fashion Week.
Been revealed that Meghan Markle actually invited herself to this Paris Fashion Week show earlier this month. Now, the Balenciaga designer has claimed that she reached out and she said she would love to come to the show.
The brand she attached herself to? Balenciaga, who had just issued a groveling public apology for a campaign featuring children with bondage-themed props. One of the most damaging brand controversies in fashion history.
Online, and here's just a fun backstory. Meghan went to the Balenciaga show in Paris.
That was an interesting
where
case.
They had to apologize recently for inappropriate ads involving children holding teddy bears with bondage costumes on. So predatory behavior from Balenciaga. There's Meghan Markle elbowing her way to the front row. And then a few days later, she's going to go accept an award in New York for protecting children. Again, I would say to you, make it make sense.
She walks straight in, front row, smiling. Then the videos went viral. She nearly headbutts the designer during a greeting. Dame Kristen Scott Thomas, absolute British institution. Not someone you blank lightly is seen mid-conversation with Meghan, and just turns and walks away. The internet called her entrance a Zoolander walk. Commenters said she looked like she knew she was out of her depth and was trying to hide it. Then someone found her Instagram story from earlier that week, filming out of a car window, driving alongside the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, where Diana died. Royal commentators said Harry was horrified. Her team said she had no idea where the car was. Maybe. But the image existed, and the internet doesn't do nuance. This was her fashion comeback moment. Instead, it became the story everyone was laughing at, and she'd shown up uninvited.
Now, look, it's not being received well, certainly not as well as maybe she would have hoped, with some people labeling it a Zoolander walk. What are your...
Number 6, the tailoring trap. When a showroom lends you a piece, you cannot alter it. It must be returned exactly as it arrived. So if the waist is 2 inches too wide, it stays. If the hem drags on the floor, it drags. Meghan is 5'6" with a shorter torso. Sample sizes aren't cut for that, so waistbands land wrong. Hems puddle, shoulders drift. And if the piece is borrowed, she can't fix it. Catherine's system is different. Loans go back, the pieces she's photographed in repeatedly, bought outright, tailored to the millimeter. The same coat worn 3 years apart fits identically both times. One industry professional put it bluntly, getting loans for controversial figures is like getting blood from a stone. The designers have quietly started saying no. And after what we covered in number 10, that calculus makes perfect sense.
But I think she actually deserves credit for re-wearing something and burning it after wearing it once.
Number 5, use today, gone tomorrow. A long-term designer partnership means they understand your body before you walk in. They cut pieces with you in mind. They call you first. That's earned through loyalty and time. Meghan has never built one that lasted. British designers during the royal years promoted warmly, dropped the moment Megxit happened. American labels, given their moment, moved on.
It's really difficult when looking at these pictures to really even reconcile what's happening, like a real ball gown. So it doesn't really fit with the setting either. They're outside, walking in the grass. It looks out of place to the backdrop. That
Australian brands front and center during the 2026 tour, we'll see. The Meghan effect, her wearing something causing it to sell out, does exist, but it requires her to keep wearing it. If she's moved on by Tuesday, the effect is gone by Wednesday, and the designers who invested in the relationship are left with nothing but a few photographs and a lesson. She uses a fashion house today and discards it tomorrow. The industry has noticed. Slowly, the invitations have gotten quieter. Number 4, the copycat problem. Silhouettes borrowed from Diana, styling choices from Catherine, looks echoing Angelina Jolie, Ivanka Trump, various Hollywood figures depending on whatever image she's building that season. When you spend that much energy becoming someone else, you never become yourself. But the Diana shirt is in a different category, an almost exact replica of the shirt Diana wore in her final photo shoot. The last photographs ever taken of her. How long did she spend hunting that down? You don't stumble across something like that. You'd have to study the original photograph, track down something identical, or have it made. Either way, that's a deliberate decision. It's kind of sad, it's dark, it's out of touch. It's so incredibly strange. Designers partner with people who bring something original to the table. A perspective that's genuinely their own. A look the world hasn't seen before. Meghan doesn't bring that. She brings a reflection. A very expensive, very well photographed reflection. And reflections, in the end, don't sell clothes. They don't build relationships. And they don't keep doors open. Number 3, radio silence. When a designer dresses a public figure, what happens after matters as much as the clothes. The Instagram tag, the interview mention, the press call. For a small British label, being credited by a globally photographed duchess can mean sellouts, waiting lists, international press overnight. Meghan doesn't consistently deliver that. Interviews about her look no mention of who made it. Press coverage about her style, the creatives invisible. Compare Catherine, every appearance tagged almost instantly. Small boutiques named, dress sold out before the photos finish loading. Designers fight to dress her because the return is guaranteed. To be fair, Meghan's recent investment in shopping platform One-Off does credit every outfit. Whether that's genuine support for designers or a revenue split, that works very nicely for her too. The industry is watching and reserving judgment.
You know, in an age of constant scrutiny, polish isn't just an aesthetic. It's strategic.
Number 2, she doesn't listen. Every person in fashion who succeeds long-term is coachable. They have opinions. They push back, but they create space for people who know things they don't. Multiple insiders describe Meghan as someone who overrides professional advice, ignores alteration guidance, and according to one sharp account, quietly blames the clothes when the result doesn't land. Former royal stylist Carolyn Holden said it plainly. Meghan lets the clothes do the talking instead of her figure. They dominate. She disappears inside them.
Royals who go out, they have a lot of discussion. They have weeks of studying it and what's appropriate and what isn't. But one of the things I think is that her behaviour, looking like that, so inappropriate, will sort of slide down to affect the royal family because they had so much that was royal. You know, they're going from one thing to another.
Here's the part that's genuinely maddening. In 2015, still on Suits, buying her own clothes on an actress's budget, she gave an interview and said word for word, "The most important thing you can do is tailoring. If it fits you to a T, you look 1,000,000 times better." She knew. She said it on camera, then got access to the best tailors on the planet and stopped doing it.
To look like you have some sort of a weird shelf in this like weird droopy umbrella is what it reminds me of, like a weird umbrella. You don't want that on your outfit. Also, she should have worn a smoothing garment. You know, you're being photographed on a day like this. You don't want your belly button on display for the history books, okay? That just, It shouldn't be showing through in a really classy dress like this.
Number 1, the finish. Everything on this list, the wrinkles, the wrong fabric, the hems on the floor, the shoes that don't fit, the bra strap improvisation, it all comes back to one thing, the finish. The smoothing layer under the dress, the hem checked one last time, shoes that actually fit, hair done for this occasion, the quiet confidence of someone who knows they look right. It's the difference between a 200-pound dress that looks like $2,000 and a 2,000-pound dress that looks like $20. $500,000 on clothes in 2018. $200,000 for one Invictus Games. These are published numbers that eliminate every excuse, and yet panty lines through a dress at a professional event being photographed for press, shoes stretching at the strap, a midi dress dragging 6 inches on the floor, a coat hanging open in January.
Meghan Markle is redefining royal fashion and at a hefty price, $1 million is the day she gave Prince Harry's fiancé.
One of you wrote, "Never seen someone that just looks terrible in clothes. They never fit right." The fashion industry agrees. Because the finish isn't about money or access. It's about caring enough to sort the details, every time, without exception. And that more than the sticky fingers, the wrong brand, the uninvited appearance, is what the fashion world genuinely cannot forgive. You can make mistakes. You can have bad days. But when the details are consistently, repeatedly, expensively wrong, that's a choice. And the industry has clocked it. Meghan cares about having the dress, not what it looks like when she walks in the room. And in high stakes, professional, this will be photographed globally fashion caring about the finish is literally the whole job. It's not an optional extra. It's not a bonus if you have time. It is the job. And it's the one thing, across years and millions of dollars, she has consistently failed to deliver.
But if you are in the public eye, and especially if you're in a privileged position, it's just appropriate. Like it or not, we judge with our eyes first. We just do. It's how our brains are wired. And I don't mean looking down on someone or treating someone differently because of how they look, or because of their body shape or type or weight or features or how pretty or young that they are or anything like that. I'm just talking about how we instantaneously notice how someone is presenting themselves to us, and we take all that info in visually without even meaning to. Dressing well, grooming, and good hygiene can make or break a first impression. It's just a fact.
Top 10 worst outfits ever. 10 reasons. 10 ways the fashion world has been let down, used, and quietly ghosted. But we've been talking about why. Now let's talk about what. The 10 worst outfits she has ever worn. The ones that made fashion professionals wince. The ones that had the entire comment section saying the same thing. And for each one, exactly what went wrong. Because there's always a lesson inside every disaster. Number 1 is coming. You are not prepared. Number 10, the SmartWorks coat. 2,600 pounds. 3 sizes too big. No buttons. Wrinkled beyond saving. T-shirt dress underneath. January. Cow print shoes too large for her feet. She looks like an unmade bed. Always. Lesson: a coat lives and dies by the shoulders. If they're wrong, nothing else matters. Number 9, the bereaved parents event. Mismatched creams and whites fighting each other. An overdramatic fold. Off-the-shoulder styling at an event for grieving families as the host. Unbelievably tasteless. Lesson: ask what the room needs before you ask what you want to wear. Completely different questions.
Wear bodycon stuff that's really, really tight, because it kind of makes it just look like you have a bit of a pooch.
Number 8, the midi dress that became a ball gown. Designed to hit above the ankle, hitting the floor. A visible bubble of excess fabric bulging from the back because the torso is shorter than the dress was cut for. Black accessories, white lining, nothing speaking to anything else. It looks like she's playing dress up. Incredibly amateur. Lesson: know your torso length. It determines where every seam, dart, and waistband should sit.
And clothing details like this fuel that perception that she's somewhere she doesn't belong, wearing something that doesn't belong.
Number 7, ball gown at the movie theater. Full floor-sweeping ball gown, casual cinema screening, spaghetti strap top underneath, widening her shoulders. Waistband too high, everything puddling. It looks out of place. There's no loyalty to the backdrop. Lesson: overdressing is just as disrespectful as underdressing. Same message, different outfit.
I think overall it does look just a little bit messy with the various jaunty stripes and the ruffles. It's definitely a beach dress. This is
Number 6, the spaghetti strap leadership panel. Evening dress, professional panel, press photographer. No smoothing layer, every line, every imperfection visible through the fabric on camera. Spaghetti straps are just never going to be acceptable in this setting. We just have to get over it.
Since both the bra and the outfit are too tight, you can see everything. It's not just distracting, it just doesn't look good. It looks awful, unprofessional. She's really quite lean in this area, especially during this time. She was real skinny, and so some people would have had a serious difficulty getting a smooth look right there with a strapless like myself, or really busty people like myself, but she's skinny enough to pull it off if she had just tried.
Lesson: dress codes protect your message. Ignore them, and the clothes become the story. Number 5, the Diana shirt. Near exact replica of the shirt Diana wore in her final photo shoot. The last photographs ever taken of her, worn casually, paired with wrinkled black trousers that box out her entire shape. It's kind of sad, it's dark, it's so incredibly strange. Lesson: every outfit is a statement. Make sure you know what you're saying before you leave the house. Number 4, the messy everything day. Asymmetrical hemline hanging below a designer coat, lifting oddly off the shoulders. Shirt loosely over a skirt. Nude shoes with all black. Hair that looks like the appointment was canceled. A B-team outfit with a designer coat. And it still looks cheap. Lesson: your outfit needs one center of gravity. When everything competes, nothing wins. And nude shoes with black is never the answer.
That she's trying to look modern and effortless, but the lack of polish stands out and kind of overshadows the whole thing.
Number 3, the strapless and the bra strap. Arrived strapless. Was told it was inappropriate. Solution: looped a bra strap around her neck. A structured top on the wrong body shape. Boxy. Squared. Nothing fitting anything. Assembled in apparent panic. It looks like something a teenager would put together.
Just because she has her stupid bra flapping around in our faces. It's just all you see when you look at this outfit. It literally looks like a cookie cutter on her chest. It's so strange. And even if she had a smooth underlayer, this particular dress is too tight for her.
Lesson: improvisation never saves an outfit. The answer is always a different outfit. Number 2, everything everywhere, all at once. Stripes in 3 directions, a loose belt, a slit, angled pockets, a blazer, a mismatched crossbody bag, bracelets, strappy shoes, hair down. When the blazer came off, fabric tabs hanging from the shoulder straps. If you slapped this on a supermodel, it would still look terrible. It's just not put together.
It's got everything all at once. What was that show or that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once? That's what this outfit is. This is what it is. We've got buttons, a belt that's huge and floppy, a crossbody bag, lots of bracelets and jewelry, a blazer just over the shoulders, not on, and strappy shoes, and stripes. So much happening, and an awkward slit. Could you put anything else on this dress to make it any worse? The bag is so awkward. Why did she do that? Why? You know, this makes me understand exactly why the queen did not like crossbody bags. I never used to understand that. I used to be like, well, I guess I don't really get why. You know, I wear crossbody bags all the time, but that's because I need to be able to chase after my little kids and pick them up without my bag flopping around. When I have a crossbody bag on, it stays still while I do all of those things. So I choose those for practical reasons. They're not the most attractive to wear for an outfit always. I mean, like sometimes, and they're casual. Like that's what they are. They're casual. So here, this is just horrible. Like, let me ask you this. Do you ever see women on the red carpet for like the Oscars wearing a crossbody bag? No. No, you don't. You see them carrying a clutch because that is what you do for nice things.
Lesson: get dressed. Then take one thing off, then another. The best dressed women in the world are wearing less than you think. Number 1, the red Carolina Herrera, the worst outfit she has ever worn, by some distance. Inverted chest darts pulling the wrong way, a faux bustle adding width at the back, a high slit and deep plunge competing, creating a widening visual line down the center. Shoulder straps angled outward, broadening her frame. Fabric so tight across the back it looks like it's protesting. Waistband too high, shortening an already short torso. Wrinkles, puckering, pulling. Severe slicked back bun. Harsh angular liner. Nothing soft anywhere.
Meghan Markle wowed in a plunging crimson ball gown with Prince Harry at the Intrepid Museum's Salute to Freedom.
Worn to an event honoring military veterans in lipstick red. You can't unsee that dress. That is the absolute worst of the bunch. Nightmare fuel. The color alone is genuinely beautiful. On a simple, well-cut dress, it would have been stunning. But as assembled with that finish, on that occasion, it is the perfect summary of everything we've talked about today. Lesson: broad shoulders and a short torso need V-necks, A-lines, defined waists. Anything adding width at the top and volume in the middle works directly against you. This dress did all of it, simultaneously, in front of cameras, honoring veterans.
It's like they took a woman's assets, her figure, and just made it all worse. Hid everything good and made everything worse. Is what this looks like. Since when is that fashion goals? Inverted nipple cups. Nightmare fuel. Poof at the belly. Who doesn't want to look like they have a beer belly in an evening gown? Wrinkles. Everywhere. As if this dress didn't have enough disasters. The high slit and the plunge are competing with each other, and they're creating a widening effect because they're drawing the eye straight to the bulge in the middle, and then everything else just looks wide from there. It's widening the shoulder line, the width of the straps, and the angle that the straps are going is further encouraging you to view her shoulder line as even wider than it is.
10 reasons, 10 outfits. Narrowing it down was genuinely the hardest part, and several of you are already typing the ones we left out. The shorts at the Invictus Games March, the brown pajama trousers in Colombia, the backless dress at a school in Nigeria. We saw your comments. We hear you. Now your turn, which outfit made your jaw drop? And which one did we leave off that deserved to be here? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. Subscribe now, because next week we're looking at Catherine, Princess of Wales, and the 5 specific things she does every single time that make her look perfectly polished in any room at any event. The contrast with what you've seen today is going to be remarkable. See you then.